What is the Fobm incident? What is it? Is it a clip or is it a video? 31. Is it a clip or a video? He lost 31 25 75s in a row. Oh my goodness. Is that so, chat? 31? Oh. Oh. I lost 30 straight 25 75s. I did not get a single copy of her weapon outside the heartbeat. I don't think losing 30 times is fun. Can we please just make weapon gacha 100% or at least 75%, please? Oh my goodness. Oh, is this the clip? With a 75% probability loss, the chances of losing 30 times is approximately 0.018%, or 1 in 5,611
weapons. Just so that you can celebrate the award-winning Game of the Year Claire Obscure Expedition
31!
Cinema.
31! Cinema. Alright, this is the reason I don't get why people defend this system. Losing multiple 50-50s in a row is insane. But you got 36-star weapons trying to get it out there. Buddy, no one gives a fuck about those. No one is putting on a weapon better for losing on other weapons. You have 44k Arsenal tickets. Arcane doesn't even need more than a free weapon. So if you want to act like an addict, please refrain from giving a ticket. Oh, is this a war? It might be a bit of a war issue going on. I got 36-star weapons. Now try that in other gadgets. It's just the same amount as those 30 weapons. Don't tell me you never got into heart-beating other games. Be careful, man. R9 players, this gadget is perfect. You'll get talked about by the Twitter dogs will complain like this. Isn't it after the 8 ones? 2 more tempo for selectable 6-star, then every 4 tempo you get a copy of the feature. If you say that you only got 1 copy, lost 30 times, it means you got 36-star weapons in 80 pools. Lost to 50s and immediately uninstalled the game. Shit just isn't worth it for free to play. The weapon banner is the worst, but I don't mind the corrector gacha. As usual, no one would address the quality that you only get weapon boosts or corrector boosts. You're just lying, bro. This is straight up just lying. So that is just very interesting. Imagine that people defend weapons because people get a signature early without any problems. I'm still here trying to get Camille's weapon. I have 1 tempo left. It really took me hard pity on an awful weapon system. Me pulling MrEndfield's weapon. Let me see that. Oh. Oh. Wait, chill. Which one is MrEndfield's weapon again? I'm like a little bit blind, guys. Is this the MrEndfield weapon? Is this the MrEndfield weapon? Purple sword. So it is 1, 2, 3. So 3 MrEndfield weapons. In bro, how many pulls did bro take for 3 MrEndfield weapons? 14, 5, 20, 40, 1, 28, 1, 40, 40, 31, 35, 1, 35, 40, 17, 40, 13, 12, 36, 40. Okay, so it's 3 MrEndfield weapons for 489 summons. Alright? Which is on average 163 pulls based on a heart pity. Why is 3 not 3? Because 3 is 3. I would say this is pretty bad. Because it's 163 for 1 MrEndfield weapon. And wait, can you get like more heart pities, chat? I'm assuming that when you hit heartbeat, you have like a selector or something, right? Or how did the fucking gacha system work again? I feel. Alright, here's how I feel. Alright. Neutrally speaking. I feel there is no difference between a guaranteed rate up, like 100% chance rate up at 80 pools, or you have a 75-25, but you get the rate up at the 80th pool. So it's like if you take into like the maximum, right? Like the max amount of pulls it would take for you to get a weapon is 80 pulls. Maximum. But if you want to talk about like luckier pulls, then the luck floor is much lower in AKE. So if you were to win a weapon early, you are not rewarded with the 100% rate up weapon, right? So like, if I were to compare this with like Wuthering Waves weapon gacha, right? I think Wuthering Waves rates are, I believe, 1% for the actual weapon. Whereas for MrEndfield's weapon, it's, I think, 3%. It was it 2 or 3? It was like a very high amount of like probability for the actual weapon in it. Like it was, 4%. Right, 4%. So the odds of getting a 6-star is 4%, whereas the rate up is still 1%, which is literally the same rate as, for example, in Wawa, your odds of getting that 6-star weapon or 5-star weapon, like the rate up weapon, is 1%. Alright. I think HSR signature and Genshin is 0.6, but I know Zenless Zone 0 is 1%. Like Zenless Zone 0's little W engine is 1%. Oh, Wawa is 0.8, right? Okay, so in terms of absolute probability, the odds of you getting this is statistically more likely, because you're talking about absolute probability, right? But when you talk about like the feeling, right? The feeling of how it's like to get the weapon, it would feel worse compared to another gacha where you straight up you don't get any of the rate up weapons. So it really depends on how do you view the things you get from pulling in the weapon gacha. So if you only wanted the rate up weapon, whether or not you lose to like 5 different 6-stars, maybe you don't really even care. Especially if you're a whale, right? Maybe you already maxed out everything, so you just straight up don't care about the other 6-stars. It would be like, oh my god, yeah, we still have to hit 80 PD to get the rate up. But the same thing is essentially happening in like other games, because the probability is this, right? This is the probability. But if you were to get an early, right, if you were to get an early, if you get an early in HSR, it's 75-25. If you get an early in Wuthering Waves, it's 100%. For those early instances, it will feel better because you know the odds of you getting that weapon is basically higher, right? But the chances of you even getting that early is lower to begin with, because 4-star or rather 6-star base drop is 6% or rather 4%. Then HSR and like other gachas weapon is gonna be at a lower odds. So my end of the day is, as a tourist, it just depends on like how abundant these Arsenal tickets are. Because Arsenal tickets are a very interesting like byproduct of you pulling in the character gacha, as well as you getting Arsenal tickets from like events. So if you can get enough Arsenal tickets to hit the 80 pulls, it is a pretty decent system. Alright, it is a pretty decent system. So you don't have to spend any additional premium currency. Alright, so for example, in Wuthering Waves or HSR or Zenless Zone 0, you will still need to spend your asteroids, polychromes, as well as stellar jades to pull in a weapon. But hey, but MrEndfield is splitting that Arsenal ticket from the normal premium currency, and generally people wouldn't be spending their premium currency for this, which also brings about like another whole host of problem, which is what if you get lucky? Alright, what if you get lucky in the character banner and like you just keep fucking getting hella lucky, like getting that character in like the first 10-20 pulls, and then you just don't have enough Arsenal tickets. So the game will then, in a sense, punish you for being too lucky. So the gacha for the weapon system in tandem with the character banner, it will feel worse for the luckier players, but it would feel better for players that are like constantly hitting bad luck, because it would take more pulls for whatchamacallit, it will cause more premium currency if you were to hard pity both the character and the weapon in other gacha games. But it would take you less premium currency if you were to hard pity both. If you were to compare the same situation from like a case-by-case basis. The absolute probability is still in the detail. They include hard pity for 1%, it's 2% for S rank, and 1.6% for the rate up S rank. How can okay, wait. I literally have Goryo right here. Hold up. I have Goryo right here. And pull up Goryo. Alright, there we go. We'll put Goryo here. Let me put Goryo here. Okay. So what the fuck is going on, chat? Okay, there we go. Okay, so the base rate of a 5-star light cone is 0.8%. That's base rate, right? Whereas a base rate in a Arc Knight's MrEndfield gacha, I have no idea what. Oh, it's over here. The base rate is 4%. So with the base rate as the basis of comparison, you would have more 5-star, or in this case 6-star weapons, period. Alright, the odds of you getting the 6-star is just higher because you have a higher base rate. The difference is whether or not that 6-star is the rate up weapon that you want. So if you take that into consideration, then the probability becomes, okay, at this point this is 0.8%, right? But the odds of you winning that with the heartbeat is 75% of that 0.8%. And then if you were to include pity, it is what 1.87 with the heart pity. So 1.87% times 75%. The odds of you getting a light cone, the rate up light cone, is 1.4%. Right, is 1.4% for a similar number of pulls. Then for MrEndfield is you straight up, you guarantee that weapon as well at 80 pulls. So there's no 75-25 anymore. It is just at 80 pulls, you get yourself that weapon. Which if you think about it in terms of like absolute pulls, you are still gonna be spending lesser for a weapon in Enfield. Because you have a guarantee without a 75-25 at 80 summons. The issue is just more so like this thingy. Alright, this Arsenal ticket thingy. So it would feel worse for the player when you cannot have enough of these Arsenal tickets to keep on maintaining your 80 pulls per banner, because the catch for this the catch for this weapon banner is that it doesn't carry forward. Alright, you have to all in, which is like a whole different question by itself anyways. But yeah, the Fob incident is a really interesting look at what the hell is going on in R9. Okay, wait, let me see what he said right here real quick. Just to clarify, I ended with a P5 Arcane with P3 of her signature. This cost me about $1,250. I've had way worse money cost in other gachas to reach these levels of copies, so it's not that bad. But I was so shocked at how God woke up and decided to fuck me in the ass. That is very interesting. Like, bro, no way I can't roll a 25% win rate 31 times a roll amount. But maybe that's insanely lucky in the opposite way. Just on numbers alone, it costs a lot less to guarantee, especially when maxing a corrector. It just feels bad missing each time when they're supposed to be a rate up, especially if people have gotten used to the guarantee. Okay. And damage. Okay, I mean, I think this is a pretty interesting little perspective. I mean, number one, your streamer will never face this problem because your streamer will never spend an obscene amount of money in gacha games. So from the perspective of someone that plays MrEndfield as a complete free-to-play, right? I am a complete free-to-play in MrEndfield. I've still not spent a single dollar on this game. It is really like a kind of a give or take situation. I don't base my weapon pools on characters that I'm gonna like go all in for. So for example, right now, I try to go for Arcane. Okay, but then again, the way that I'm pulling in MrEndfield is very different from what people would probably pull, right? The Sarah pulling method, where I let the game decide for me what kind of 6 stars I want. If the game is not gonna give me Arcane, then it is what it is, right? I don't have enough pulls anymore. I will never ever go to 120 pulls for a single banner, so we'll only pull 50 times per banner just to hit that free 10 pull on the next banner, and then we'll just see where God is gonna bring me. So if God is gonna fuck me in the ass and let me lose 31, 50, 50 straight like Fobm4ster, and I never ever get a single rate up corrector, then it is what it is, right? Then it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think on the MrEndfield weapon situation, and I'll be seeing you guys on the Clips channel. I'll be seeing you guys on the Clips channel, right?
You have cooled your last cool, my man.